Thanks to Value for sponsoring today's video. Hey guys, welcome back. A super quick note before we start the video, and that is that I have started a Patreon. The main reason behind this is that some of my B-roll footage of Chio I think was just too spicy for YouTube. So moving on into the future, some of my less tasteful or too tasteful figures will appear on my Patreon instead, so I can keep YouTube PG. It'll be $1 to join just to see the videos, and a few other tiers if you'd like to support me more as well. But yeah, join if that seems like something you'd enjoy. Otherwise, let's get on with today's video. So today I have a series of unboxings of anime figures that I guess are kind of controversial, or there was some drama about them. Like all of these figures, there was a bit of drama. So I've kind of grouped them all together in this video and we can open them. I can see what my opinion is, whether I agree with the drama or the controversies or whatever. Yeah, I think it'll be a juicy one this time. Generally, in my experience, most of the time, when I buy a figure, it turns out as I expect. It's pretty much just like the prototype pictures, maybe not as nice and detailed, but I'm fairly happy as a customer to receive it. And so when there are figures with a bit of drama, or when people are really disappointed in what they get, that can be a really lasting impression on that manufacturer forever. Like if you get one bad figure from a certain manufacturer, that's gonna taint your perception of them in the future. So I'm keen to unbox today's figures and see if these are, you know, forgivable sins by by the manufacturer. Without further ado, let's get started. Let's get started with this first figure. This is the quarter scale painted figure Azuki Race Queen version by Nekoyome, and this is like the first ever figure that this manufacturer has made. So I think Nekoyome is a manufacturer that was created to make Nekopara figures exclusively, and this is their first figure. I think it's really cute. I do really like Azuki, and I think this design was just adorable. But there was one point of controversy with this figure, and that is that her legs were different colors. So looking online, a lot of people said that the difference between the colors is because of the different plastic. Like one of the legs is made out of ABS, and ABS reflects light, and so when you photograph it, it's going to look different. A few people said, it's only if you photograph it do the legs look like they're different colors. It's not that noticeable in person. But then there's someone else that comes along and says, hey, I opened it in person and they're definitely different colors. A few people online kind of said, look, she's 13,000 yen, that's fairly cheap. It's not a deal breaker. I'm happy to still get her. And that's the camp that I stayed in. When I first heard about the legs, I was a bit disappointed, but given how cheap she is, I just didn't cancel my pre-order, and I hoped that it would be not that noticeable in person. So it's worth noting as well that the legs are the same color in the prototype image, so it wasn't really something that was advertised. But anyway, let's actually get to the physical figure I have in front of me. Looking through the box, I do think that her legs look like they're different colors. Like one is obviously pinker than the other, but there's a lot of plastic and blister pack in the way, so I'm gonna reserve my judgment until I get her open. So we have some instructions. All right, let's get her out of this. So I've just taken her out and taken all the plastic off, and honestly, I know some people online were saying this, but my first impression is that it is not as obvious in person. Like, I'm really trying to sit here and think, if I opened her for the first time and I didn't see photos before, would I have said, oh, her legs are different colors? And I don't think I would have, at least not on mine. I don't know if maybe mine's, well, it's the same plastic, right? I don't know, they're probably all the same. Under different lighting conditions, sometimes it does look like they're different colors. One's definitely pinker than the other, but I'd say it is not something I would have picked up on. All right, I'm gonna put the rest of her together. She has like the cutest base. This is adorable. And this is very cute. Oh, it's very wobbly. It's adorable though. Here she is, finished. I think she looks so much cuter with the flag. Like I said, flag tags, figure with flags are automatically 20% cooler. And honestly, when I was putting her together, I like basically forgot about the whole leg thing. Like I was just like, oh, she's so cute. I don't think the leg thing is a deal breaker to me. I'm very, very curious what this is gonna look like in the B-roll and whether that will flag the colors a lot more. And I might take some pictures on my phone as well to see if I can reproduce getting the legs to be 2 different colors, because some people said it only really turns up on photos. So we'll see. But look, enough about her leg color. Let's talk about the rest of her because it is so cute. This figure is adorable. Azuki looks so cute, and I think they absolutely nailed all of the cute details on her outfit. There's so many cute bows and bells and ribbons. It's so sweet. One of the cutest things for me on this figure is her like made visor hat. It is too cute. I think there are a few places where the sculpting could have been kind of crisper, but I think for a 13,000 yen figure, this is like really good. Like I'm very impressed for this figure at that price range, because I've definitely bought more expensive figures that were not as nice as this one. I also think that the leg thing is kind of forgivable given the lower price tag. Most people just buy the figure to look at them themselves instead of photography. So I think most people would be fine with this. This makes me feel really good about the upcoming coconut racing figure because I've got my eye on that one, and I think I'm gonna get that because I'm very impressed with this one, and like I think they'll look really cute together. That was such a good start to the video because I still really love the figure despite the little bits of drama that it had online. Unfortunately, I don't think that's gonna happen for our next figure because the photos online are just really bad. And I'm talking about Union Creative's Douki-chan figure. If you know, you know. Alright, the Union Creative Douki-chan figure retailed for 15,000 yen. So more expensive than the Azuki we just saw. And she's kind of tanking in price. On Yahoo Japan auctions, the cheapest she'd sold for is 7,000 yen, maximum 19,000 with an average of 12,000 yen. So she's already gone down like 3,000 yen. And the drama around this figure was that she just kind of looked nothing like the prototype. So here are the prototype pictures, and here was a photo from like they kind of put the figures out for show so you can see it ahead of time. So this is kind of the prototype stage. And then these were the figures that people posted on release. And of course, there were a ton of comments on My Figure Collection and Reddit about how bad this looks. A lot of people saying like, yo, it straight up looks like a bootleg. And I kind of agree. A lot of people commenting on how this is fairly common for Union Creative as well, like how they're a hit or miss manufacturer. And kind of seeing the pictures, yeah, I'd be scared to pre-order from Union Creative. Unfortunately, I was one of the clowns that had pre-ordered this, and the site that I got it from didn't accept cancellations, so I just kind of had to go ahead and buy it. So here she is. Oh, look how cute the box is though. The box is quite nice. And then I think you can actually open it up. Oh, and you kind of, like, she's so cute out here, and then when you open it, it doesn't look as cute. But maybe I'm overreacting. Let's give the figure a chance. I'm gonna try and forget what I read online and kind of look at this as if I didn't read any of that. So let's get her open. All right, here we go, moment of truth, lifting her out of the box. And yeah, she is quite disappointing. Like it's mainly in the face. Like the face, like look, the face isn't that bad, but I think when you take a character like Douki-chan, where her kind of like flustered, shy face is super integral to the character and to the look And so you have to nail the face, and they've just not nailed the face, and it looks just a little bit wrong. I'm gonna finish putting her on her base and try to collect my thoughts here. So she's not that bad. Like, everything else about it is kind of fine, but even though she's not that bad, like, I feel comparatively more disappointed than I should be for what is technically wrong about this. And I think it's because they just screwed up her face. And it's literally like, if you screw up the eyes of a figure, doesn't matter what the rest of the figure looks like, it just doesn't look right. And we've seen that with like a few other figures where the eyes just, maybe they're literally the tiniest bit too close together or too far apart, and the whole face is ruined. And I think for this figure, like, it's an office lady, right? Like, you're not buying this because it looks cool. You're buying this because you like the Douki-chan character. And so they kind of need to nail the face. I also think the hair is icky. Her kind of like iconic side bangs, they just look way better in the prototype, way more crisp than they do on here. Also, the hair shading looked better on the prototype than it did on the actual figure. So for this figure, they actually released two versions. One where she has this kind of shy face, which is what I preferred, and another where she's smiling, and I wonder if they got the face right on that one. I'll try and find some pictures and put them up if they exist, but maybe like that one turned out okay, I don't know. I definitely am disappointed for this, for 15,000 yen as well. Like, this figure, even if they nailed it, I'd argue is probably not worth 15,000 yen. Like, it's just an office lady, right? So for 15,000 yen, this bombed. It sucks. I don't like it. Like, even if it's, even if she's kind of 80% of the way there, unless she's 100%, it's just kind of not worth having, you know? I wouldn't have got her if I saw that she looked like this. I wouldn't pay 15,000 yen for that. So I am disappointed. So not as happy an ending as the Azuki situation. And this has got me quite nervous for pre-ordering other Union Creative figures that I kind of like the look of, because they are so hit and miss. Because I've seen some amazing Union Creative figures, so I know they can bring out the quality, but it's the misses that I'm worried about. All right, before we move on to our last and probably most controversial figure, a quick word from the sponsor of today's video, Bai. Bai is a Japanese proxy shipping service that lets you buy things from Japanese stores and then have them shipped to your house. You can buy from places like Yahoo Japan Auctions, Mercari, Rakuten, or Amazon JP, and Bai will handle any bidding or purchasing in order to get that item. Because of this, you don't need to know any Japanese to buy from Japanese stores, and you can do everything from the Bai site itself. Otherwise, you can install the Add to Bai extension to shop on other sites as well. Bai offers a wide selection of shipping options such as DHL, FedEx, EMS, Surface Parcel, and more. I myself use Bai a ton to buy any figures that I'm on the hunt for, so despite these figures being controversial, if you do like the look of any of them, you can use Bai to go online and buy them for really great secondhand prices from Japanese marketplaces. They offer additional services such as snipe bidding, package consolidation, and a ton of other shipping and packaging options such as protective packaging. If you're interested, you can use the link below in my description to get 2,000 yen off of your first purchase. Thanks again, Bai, for sponsoring today's video. So I've been in the figure collecting community for a few good solid years now, and I think that no figure face has been as controversial as this one. And I'm talking about this face. No, this face? No, this face. Oh my god, you can't even see it. This face. Yes, of course, I'm talking about the Yumeko Jabami bunny version quarter scale by Freeing. So this figure was talked about right from the get-go, right when the prototype image dropped. People couldn't decide if she looked right or not. You had a good group of people saying she doesn't look like Jabami and her face is munted. And then you had everyone else saying that she looks good. I think they got it right. I'm gonna pre-order this. Maybe she'll look better in person. And then after she came out, the conversation continued. A lot of people said she looks better in person, which of course you can't deny unless you get to see it in person, but that usually involves buying it. I think it's gotten to the point now where anyone who posts a picture of this on the anime figure subreddit, there's now meta comments about, guys, can we just please stop talking about the face? I'm so sick of talking about her face. So yeah, definitely an interesting case. And this is a very expensive disagreement because this bunny retails for 27,000 yen. But I do think she's tanked in price a little. Not so much tanked, but she's not gone up like a lot of people would expect. So on Yahoo Japan auctions, her average sold price was 24,000 yen, which is, you know, a few thousand yen cheaper than she retailed for. So she's definitely not gone up. Now, I actually wasn't going to buy her. I was in the camp of not so much her face looked really bad, but her face didn't look good enough for me to buy it. But my boyfriend actually really liked the face, so he bought it. So now I get to open it in this video. All right, let's get this lady out of here. I think the other thing that added a lot of heat and fire to the conversation was that a Yumeko Jabami bunny was probably really high up on a lot of people's kind of dream bunny figure lists. Even though the anime's like, you know, pretty good, the aesthetic of Yumeko as a character, like, she's just kind of iconically mad and crazy, and the whole casino aesthetic would work so well with the bunny. So I think a lot of people wanted this to be good, you know? Like, there are a lot of other characters that if freeing screwed up the face of, people just wouldn't care as much. Initially taking her out of the box, maybe the more controversial thing is how freaking big they made her boobs. What the hell? Maybe this should be like a Patreon exclusive bit, given how big her friggin' baboozies are. Yummy black base. All right, I just took her out of the box. I haven't replaced her ears, and I've honestly sat here for like an entire minute just looking at her face and taking it in. And I think I've come to the conclusion that I don't love it. Do I like it? I mean, it's okay. It's all right. If I had to say, I'm probably in the camp of I don't really like the face. Like, it's okay. Would I have bought this figure for myself and spent my own money? No. But it's not my money, so I get to sit here and say whatever I want. The two issues I have with the face, one, and I think a lot of people online share the sentiment, is that she looks a little like chubby in the face. Like, her face isn't as narrow as it looks in the anime or the manga. It isn't as sharp, especially in this jaw area. And the second thing is that looking at the pictures of what she looks like in the manga or the anime, I don't know if they were going for like a kind of, you know, her kind of crazy look, but I think the mouth crease is key to getting that look. I think her mouth is a little confusing to me. I don't really know if she's smiling. She kind of looks like she's speaking, like she's half speaking. So I think those two things mean that she doesn't look ugly, she just doesn't look like Jabami. I do feel like there's a massive potential here for this to have looked so good. But I just don't really think it does. I'm gonna put the rest of her together now. I've put her on a base and put her ears on. Oh, her cards. So she does look cuter with the ears. Doesn't really change the face though. Let's move away from the face and look at the rest of the figure, because I think the bigger controversy here might be the size of her freaking boobies. What the hell? Honestly, the heft, it's gotta be like 30% because of her massive baboozas. I think that the hair sculpt is quite nice for a 3¼ scale. I think this is one of the better ones I've seen. I would have liked it to be a little more not flat, like have some layers to it, maybe strands that were further out than others. This feels like a big sheet of hair, which is a little pet peeve of mine in figures. I also think they kind of skimped out on the details of her outfit. I'm glad they put her in a casino themed outfit, but they gave her barely any details. I don't even know how her vest buttons together under her arm. I don't see any way that it goes on. I think the Chitoge bunny has a very similar outfit, and that's done way nicer. Maybe I'm being a little more critical because it's my boyfriend's figure that I'm sitting here roasting, not my own. I do think, as someone who buys figures and talks about them on a YouTube channel, that I tend to want to like the figure, right? Because I've just spent $100 or $200 buying it, and it kind of sucks to acknowledge to a bunch of people online that I made a mistake and it's bad. But I feel like maybe I'm roasting Jabami a little too hard because I didn't buy it. It isn't mine. But no, she is, you know, quite cute overall. She still has an amazing presence to her, regardless of what you think about her face. Not quite my cup of tea, but it's obvious that a lot of people out there really like their Jabami bunny, but I think it will just live down as one of those figures that people just disagree on. It's gonna be that divisive thing in this community. But anyway, those were the 3 figures that I had to open. If you're not already sick of talking about Jabami's face, please leave a comment below and let me know what are your thoughts on these figures that I unboxed today. For me, I had 1 win and 2 not wins. So that's not a great hit rate. Maybe we'll do better in my next video. Thank you so much for watching. Check out my Patreon if you're interested. And yeah, I will catch you guys in the next one. Hope you guys have a good week. Bye bye!